Hey, hey, and welcome to another Opus Live here at the all-new Pot TV second floor studios. And if it sounds like we're in a big room, it's because we are.
It is a big room. And it's quite empty right now, but it will be filled with people, I guess, as we continue the show. When we get into the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah, the Vapor Lounge opens at 4 on the second floor, so as we get to there, we'll probably see people rolling in here. And hey, Jeremiah has joined us here today. We got the new, thrown together set. Got the couch, coffee table, a little more casual
With
set.
the psychoactive substances sign behind us here. The Museum of.
Bob,
it says
I
just a
painted
little.
that sign.
That's right, for David's Museum, which is just to our left here, to your right.
Yes, and I was looking. There are like psychoactive things in there.
There are some psychoactive things in that museum. There's a stack of mushrooms of all different sorts
I
in
just
there.
noticed a big bag of mushrooms.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
not so sure if those ones are entirely psychoactive, but I think those ones are used to clean up oil spills.
there was a fungus among us.
Speaking of, we just did a mushroom show on Friday. I don't know if he caught you, I don't think you were there in the chat, but Marius and I did a mushroom show where we consumed some psychoactive mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
And had a great trip on the air, and it was really fun. We
I wish I
broadcast
had
from the
saw
new.
that.
Yeah, it was good. Well, watch the on-demand version on the front page of Pot TV.
I'll have to do that. I was,
And you got a sensible BC T-shirt. I'm jealous.
yeah, well, I also have a button, a larger button too, that's like a volunteer on it.
Nice.
Because
Where'd you score the shirt?
Nicole gave it to me,
Oh, I see.
who is heading up Nicole at sensiblebc.ca.
High friends in places
Yeah.
instead of friends in high places.
Hey,
There's Mr. Chris Bennett,
Chris Bennett popping
who
his
joined
head
us
in.
on the show on Friday. How you doing, Chris?
Hey,
You got the poster here? You should show it on the
bring
air.
it on.
right
Actually,
now.
I have the schedule to talk about your thing, but you might as well slide on in, buddy.
Yeah.
Perfect
Look
timing.
at this, perfect timing.
There you go.
This is the way I like to see the second floor set starting out. We're just slide right into things perfectly. So
Yeah, the
Cannabis
poster, yeah.
Roots, the hidden history of marijuana.
Yeah,
That's coming up, what, November 3rd?
November 3rd here at the second floor where we're filming
Right
now.
here.
Right
in
here
this
in this
humongous
space.
large space. There's
Yeah.
multi-use area that, we'll use as studio, but it doubles for things like this. There's enough room. Yeah, we can pack a whack of people in here. And
Yeah, we got some good speakers. We got Professor Carl Ruck from Boston University, one of the scholars who coined the term entheogen.
oh, really?
An expert on Agent Grease, and Dr. David Hillman, who's the author of The Chemical Muse, Drugs in Western Culture, again about drugs and Agent Grease. Dr. Michael Aldrich, who did the High Times Encyclopedia of Drugs and was a curator of the Fitzhugh Ludlow Memorial Library, the largest drug library in the world. Michael and Cynthia Horowitz, who worked with Aldrich on the Fitzhugh Ludlow Memorial Library, and are authors of Shaman Woman, Mainline Lady, A History of Women and Drugs, and Moksha, that's a collection of Aldous Huxley's, editors of Moksha, a collection of Aldous Huxley's writings, will be speaking. Ted Smith from Hempology 101 and myself, and Mark Clokeet will be presenting footage from his recent trip to China, where
His trip over in China now.
where
yeah.
he took a look at a 2,700-year-old mummy that was found with cannabis.
With cannabis, I saw pictures that he put, a photo of that on Facebook that was going around. It was just phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
I was amazed to see. It was such a clear shot, too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a really good photograph
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can sort of see the detail, and so that I'm sure will be very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine the whole thing will be streamed live on Pot TV too. If you can't make it, there's a limited amount of tickets, only 70 tickets. I'm planning on selling.
Pot TV will definitely be streaming that live.
Yeah.
for sure.
Will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I'll probably come over and do that here for that
Yeah,
myself.
for sure. All part of a bigger movie project that Mark Clokeet and I are working on by the same name. And we'll be interviewing these academics while they're here for the conference.
Right on, Chris. Well, let's
Yeah, it should be
definitely.
fun.
Please hold on to that, Marius. I know you're working hard over there. Marius is working hard over at the production side,
Production facility.
behind the counter. keeping an eye on you people in chat, making sure you don't get too rowdy and out of hand.
There you go.
I'm really excited to see Carl Ruck and what he has to say. On the front page of Cannabis Culture right now, you guys can find a few of the summaries of some of the talks and an article with bios of all the speakers there. And that's at cannabisculture.com/cannabisroots.
Yeah, and thanks to Jeremiah for doing all the text on the poster here. A painting by Aaron Marshall was a cover of my first book, actually, Green Gold, The Tree of Life, Marijuana, and Magic and Religion. Aaron did this incredible painting in 3 days with no pencil marks, all paint to canvas, when he was 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Very beautiful.
It's one of my favorite. I think it's hanging upstairs in the top floor lounge.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite piece of cannabis-inspired artwork.
It's a great piece.
It's beautiful.
And I'll give you the phone number for that. It's, if you want more information, 604-662-5355 or theurbanshaman@hotmail.com. And yeah, you can get tickets and or more info. And I'm sure November 3rd from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. right here. And we'll be broadcasting it on Pot TV, guaranteed.
Yeah, and same floor as the Herb Museum. So, you can check out wonderful cannabis and coca and opium and mushroom and psychedelic artifacts.
We
at
were
the Herb
just
Museum.
mentioning how there's a big bunch of fungi in the back room. I could sort of feel it when I was back there in
Yeah.
the storage closet, going by in the storage room to pull out stuff.
The mushroom vibes.
Walking by, and the mushrooms are all giving me the eye.
Thanks, by the way, Chris, for coming on the show on Friday.
Yeah, it was fun.
Always good to see you.
Always
my
good to
friend.
see you, man.
Always
Cheers.
good.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Cheers.
Thanks
Awesome.
for coming in, man.
And I'll see you
Appreciate
Friday.
it.
Yeah, we'll see you on Friday. We'll bring you back on the show. Talk a little bit more about the cannabis conference. Guys, definitely got to go check out cannabisculture.com/cannabisroots and get more information. These speakers are fantastic. It's going to be a really, really great event.
I have a great opportunity to see Carl Ruck and also, both Dr. David Hillman and Dr. Michael Aldrich. These guys, that's a rare treat to get them up here. They're not people who stop off and drop into the CCHQ very often. They're not
Definitely
usual
not.
people. Like Tommy Chong is a regular, but that's
Right.
different, right?
Dr. Tommy Chong.
Dr.
Yeah,
Tommy
right.
Chong.
The rest of the doctors there.
Yeah,
Professor Tommy.
Professor Tom.
Yeah, everybody there has some letters before or after
Alderman
their names.
Tommy.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to see what Mr. Mark Clokeed has brought back with him from China.
I'm sure.
Of course, just video footage. I'm not talking about a piece of the mummy itself or something, but maybe
Or a chunk of hash.
Yeah, take some of the bud. There's a bowl of bud, I guess.
He got into his stash and pinched out of it. I'll take a bud of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. The weed guy.
I remember that for
Wouldn't
a
put it past
while.
him.
King Tut's penis was missing, so
King Tut's penis was missing.
I'll see if Mark's got that. Check it out. Hey, Mark, have you been to Egypt?
He's got everything.
Dana was there. Maybe he had something.
Yeah, that should be interesting. And actually, the other thing, I hope we can get Mark Clokeed. That's the weed guy. If you don't know Mark, you haven't watched any of our shows because he's always around.
Weed and guy.
But he just returned from China with this information, and upon his return, he was arrested, or he had to turn himself in. And of course, because he runs iMedicate, the medical marijuana dispensary here in Vancouver, the only one that's ever been busted in 15 years, they went after Mark, and him and his mom both have charges.
Yeah, no, I thought, they were going to make a deal that once he turned himself in, his charges was against his mother would be withdrawn, or I think something like that.
I haven't been keeping up on his Facebook account. I guess I should, but hopefully we'll have him on the show on Friday to talk a little bit more about it and fill us in on all the details.
I didn't realize he was back, but I knew he was. I saw one of his posts. He was kind of upset because he had to come in and do that. He was a little concerned.
Yeah, he'd been avoiding it for a while, I think, and laying low, hanging in China, not wanting to come back.
Right. Postponing his trip home. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, why would you want to?
Yeah, come back and get arrested.
Yeah, not when you know you have to.
Might as
do
well get it out of the way, though, because there was nowhere he could go. He had to come back eventually. So.
Well, that's it. Well, at least he went and got good footage and brought good things like that back with him. So I'm sure lots of good things to share.
Yep.
Knowledge-wise, and also, like you say, in film.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Mark has a lot of great things going for him. So even though he might be a little depressed about the iMedicate thing, he's still got another location, iMedicate, that's open and doing well. Also, he hosted the Kush Cup just recently, and he'll be one of the main organizers and founders of the a medical marijuana expo that's happening here next year.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's like a health expo with a medical marijuana convention.
And I think a Kush Cup attached to it as well.
With the Kush Cup attached, yeah. And that's going to be probably at the P&E. That's where
yeah, well, I
they've got
think
it
he
booked
wanted
already.
to originally do it there this year, and then there was some logistics problems, so
Yeah.
he kind of
Well, it was
pinched it together, what he did, and had it on anyways, rather than cancel it altogether.
It was hard to do it in such a short amount of time to get an entire health expo going.
Right.
So he in the end decided just to do the Kush Cup instead this year, which was cool. It was great.
And
You know,
it's a
wasn't
learning
perfect, but
curve.
it was
All
awesome,
these
yeah.
things are learning curves. You just
I had a lot of fun
you
with the
build
Kush Cup.
on it, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
You know?
The boat cruise was fun.
Oh yeah.
The concerts were fun.
There was good entertainment. Yeah.
Got to hang with the Rascals. Got to hang with Swollen members, Mocha only.
Yeah. Oh no, it was pretty trick. And speaking of the Rascals, we have to get Red One.
Yeah, Red One. We should get him down here for sure.
We need him.
We should give him a call because he was definitely interested in coming down and hanging with us.
I was just losing my.
And he loves your berm.
Well, I know he does. That's why I think we should get this guy down here. And,
Yeah, your screen is frozen.
Yeah, I know.
Technology.
Piece of shit computer.
I don't have Duchess with me. I'm like feeling all fidgety, and I think it's because I don't have a bong in my hands here.
Well, hit out. We got
Chronicity.
Chronicity's here. Our YMD Yaletown Medical Dispensary gifted
That's right.
bongski.
With the crazy perk system.
Oh look, I've got Burmese. Imagine that.
I wouldn't have thought.
All right, I see what's going on.
So what's going on in the chat today? Chatters?
Yeah, what is going on in the chat today?
And Vapor Central's in the house, I see.
Hey,
I wonder
Yoda,
if
how's
we're-
Yoda doing? Right on.
Mage says hi to both of us. Hi, Mage. Mage says, how's it going, everybody? Spark 'em.
Hey,
advice.
speaking of viewers, I got viewer mail.
Oh, viewer mail.
Viewer mail to share. Look at that, and you're getting a magical tone.
I was getting a magical call from my friend Katie Foreign, who I'm now not gonna answer because it's on the air, but she was just giving me shit because we never talk, and now I'm avoiding her call with a good excuse. Katie, if you're out there, I love you.
I wonder if Bong Hitter's with us today. Is he out there in the chat? I don't see him.
Bong hitter.
Oh well. Hey, Clark for Free Mark, welcome back. Haven't seen him for a while.
Hey.
I got an email,
Clark for Free
and
Mark.
this is from Bong Hitter, and it says,
Nice.
yeah, it was about the back to school book review show, which was like the hallway show. We were talking about the Yoda's book.
Right, that was just a few weeks ago, if I do
Yeah.
remember correctly.
And it says Mick and Jer,
Or last
Bong
week.
Hitter from Pot TV chat here, and I'm watching the show on demand. I always make sure to catch all your shows live or on demand when I find the time. I gotta tell you, it's a great friggin' show. Bang up job, guys. You should be very proud of the jobs you both do at Pot TV and CC. Keep up the great work, and thanks for the entertainment. Oh, and I plan on buying that medical growing book too. Thanks for the info. Peace and Free Mark.
Oh, that's really nice.
So thanks a lot, Bong Hitter. Yo, appreciate it. Always good to have.
And I get
fan mail.
mail. You know, I should bring some more of that in because I do get a lot of mail from people saying that they like the shows and they love the website and everything else, and that we're doing a good job. So
Well,
we
there
should
you are.
probably
We'd
talk
like to
a little
have
bit more about
yeah,
those.
bring this,
I
print
said-
it off, bring it in. You know, bring
Yeah.
in the odd one, and because it's appreciated. You know, we like
we
to hear
definitely
that shit.
appreciate it, and I do love hearing it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic, and that's really why we're doing it for you guys. If you guys aren't happy,
Don't
then
forget Marius, because he's also in here.
That's right.
Doing it. You just probably will forget because you don't see him on the camera as much. He's quiet and busy doing the technical.
Until the cameras are turned off, then he won't shut up. Just teasing. Marius.
So hit that bomb,
Marius is a star.
dude.
Marius Stoner's a star. Yeah, right.
So you like my
Chronicity.
sensible
I
shirt?
do.
Yeah.
I want one in black.
Well, I just sent in a major letter to the paper in Port Alberni, so we'll see. That should probably be printed. I hope it will. Mostly it was a copy off of what is on here, with change it a little bit. And I'm gonna hit this sucker too. Where's that weed? Where's that? There we go.
Oh, wow.
And I spoke to
That was
Shaw Cable, and they I'm gonna see about getting on Shaw, the local community channel, 'Cause
Cool.
that's what they're there for.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah, you know, that's what those things are. You call them up if it's a community thing. So now that the Union of BC Municipalities has voted in favor, we're talking about Sensible BC. And if you live in, oh, here, I'm gonna hit that.
Oh, okay.
If you live in BC, I really encourage you, please, to go to sensiblebc.ca and get registered, pre-register for the referendum campaign. If you can also volunteer there and find out more about that, so you can start collecting signatures in your area and going around and pre-registering people as well. So, and the idea of the pre-registration in the Sensible BC campaign is so when we do start the 90-day countdown to collect like almost 400,000 signatures, it's a huge task. It'd be a lot easier if 300,000 of them, we already had their emails. So we could contact them or phone them and or send somebody around to your house if need be. If you can't get out, we'll, you know, make sure somebody comes by with a pen and a paper. It's, here you go, sign.
Yeah.
And we can make this a reality. You know,
Definitely why signing up early is important.
Yeah.
Doing it now.
this is
getting
the
on list.
the organizational part of it that will make this a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it defeats their 3-month purpose or their 3-month limit, that window that they
That
have.
90-day window.
Yeah. The 90-day window is very, very hard to maintain a collection campaign within. Like, it'd just be impossible to just try and do that by itself.
Well,
But this online
it's made
campaign
that
is
way.
fantastic.
It's intentionally made to be,
stop people from actually changing the laws.
Yeah,
Yes.
because otherwise they'd be doing it all the time.
Yeah.
But it is such a difficult task that very few things have ever. Well, we did it with the HST. Well, there was only one other one that came out, and I can't remember what it was. And it didn't work, and it didn't go through.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember what was over though.
I don't remember either, actually.
There was
but
it was the first and only one.
It didn't pass.
It
There's
didn't
only
pass.
the only one that's passed is the HST.
And then there was the HST one, which did
Has it
pass.
only been 2? I thought maybe there were more. I thought maybe there was one other or something like that.
Because the referendum's only been in place for a
just
short period of time. Like, it hasn't been around that long that we've had
true.
that law. And we're the only province in Canada that has a referendum system.
Isn't that crazy?
in place.
The
And
US
it's
states
almost
have that.
impossible to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, so when I realized that, when I first heard about it, I went, oh, right, well, that'll never work. You'll never do it. But when I realized there was see, the referendums in BC have fixed dates, much like our elections. So the next fixed referendum date is scheduled for 2014, September.
Yeah.
So that's when they'll start that 90-day, probably just before then, that 90-day clock will kick off during the summer. Also, when people are away, and it's also more difficult to get a hold of people because people aren't necessarily, they're not in school. People are off doing stuff.
I think the actual vote
Holidays.
happens 1 year from now, basically. So, it says the formal collection of signatures happens from August to October 2013. So, in exactly 1 year from now, we'll be collecting signatures.
Yes, and the vote is in September 2014.
That's right.
the-
Yeah.
Where it comes down.
Yeah.
If we get all the signatures, then it's almost a year later before the vote comes down.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, a year
2014,
from now,
so
but
we
in
have a
a
lot of
year
stages.
we have a year just before the 90-day countdown goes.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get, well, their goal is on their piece of literature that I brought in here, it says they'd like to collect the 400 plus signatures now before, and that way they're going to put the fear of God into these people. We haven't even kicked off the 90-day mark, and we get 400,000 signatures already,
Yeah.
like in the bank,
Yeah.
stocked, ready to rock.
Or imagine we can double or triple that beforehand.
Well, yeah, like they'll just freak.
Yeah.
They're gonna go, uh-oh. Well, pretty clear where this is going. But the nicest thing, one of the things I think is so great about this is when the Union of BC Municipalities voted for it, it sent a really clear message to the rest of the country the way most people in BC think. They're representing right down to the grassroots, like people right in the communities. It's not broken down provincially or even more like federally.
Yeah.
So it set the tone. It set the tone of the province. The tone of the province is, we're not interested in Harper's bullshit, prohibitionist, punitive
It's BC.
stance. We want to go turn around and look at taxing, regulating, and decriminalizing marijuana. and having a system where adults can use it legally. All people, not just medical. Go ahead, Marius. Yo, man.
It's now 3:21, which means we just missed 420 in
Oh.
Alberta.
Well, we
Take-
didn't
you gotta
miss
take
it.
that bong rip.
I'm ripping. Happy 420 in the time zone, an hour from here, early back from here.
Yeah, and it was great to hear about this union of BC municipalities voting to basically at their big meeting they voted that they want to decriminalize marijuana, and this is the mayors of cities, I guess.
And this was from an initiative or something that someone put forth a year ago.
Yeah.
This is like, it just didn't just start this year. This was proposed last year. They have a yearly meeting.
Yeah.
So this came up last year. This is the year they debated and talked and discussed it.
That's right, it's their annual meeting.
Yeah.
So that's very cool, and it was great that we were able to piggyback sort of on their meeting with Dana's Sensible BC panel that happened in Victoria on Monday night. And you can find some of those on the front page of Pot.tv right now, and the rest of them are on the Pot TV YouTube account. They'll all be at Pot TV this afternoon. But yeah, Dana did a great job of putting together a fantastic panel with David Bratzer, Evan Wood, and a bunch of other people. It was really great.
Oh yeah, Nick Simmons.
Yeah, we had
Simons, NDP,
Simons, yeah.
MLA from the North Island, I think. Up
That's
that way.
right.
Yeah, he was there on the panel as well. Phil Lucas, who emceed.
Yeah,
And
he was great.
I mean, an ex Victoria councillor,
City
councillor, as well as the founder of the Vancouver Island Compassion Society.
That's right, Vix.
And so, I mean, that says it right there. I mean, he founded one of the the second. No, I guess it would have been the third compassion club in British Columbia. Hillary's being the first, the BCCCS, and then of course Ted Smith was around.
Yeah.
The CBC.
Well, Ted
around.
says that his was the
Well, okay, whoever was first, second, but so the third would be the VIX though.
right.
And one of the first, I think, the VIX to be as strict as it was to get in with doctors and stuff, the recommendations. You couldn't join without your doctor signing on, and then they would verify by fax, and it was, to register it took days and days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
first.
also Metchosin Mayor, is that how you pronounce that? Metchosin? Metchosin Mayor John Rands was also there.
Right, who I guess obviously was at the Union of BC.
That's right.
Municipalities
And there were
one of the
several
mayors.
mayors in the audience, and other people, other politicians and city councilors.
I didn't get to talk to him afterwards. He must have snuck off. Was from Grand Forks, Brian Taylor.
Oh, he was there.
He was there.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a mayor of Grand Forks, or
I couldn't hear what was
ex-mayor
going
of
on
Grand Forks.
when the people were talking from the audience. It was very hard to hear them talking because they weren't mic'd.
Yeah. Well, Brian Terry was there, and Brian Terry was actually president at one point. I think in 2001 of the BC Marijuana Party.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
At the time, he was the mayor of Grand Forks at that time, and I know, and he's also a medical marijuana user and grower, grows his own meds.
Yeah.
His property actually in Grand Forks butts on to to a cop's property, or he has a cop for a neighbor.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I saw some footage on some show somewhere on some video I saw somewhere. It was pretty interesting.
I guess he's used to that, dealing with those guys.
Well, it's all like, hey, how you doing, John? Good morning. It's all good. No one's breaking any laws, as it should be. That should be the end of it. It's like.
And you've run for office before, for the BC Marijuana Party.
I've run twice for the BC Marijuana Party, provincial. I ran in for 2001 in Oak Bay, Gordon Head, part of Victoria, and then in 2004 I ran in Nanaimo, Alberni, and in 2003 I ran for the federal marijuana party in Nanaimo, Alberni. So in that up there.
You should run for mayor.
I wouldn't go for the mayor, but
man.
I'd run for council. But
Why not?
I
mayor?
was actually, somebody asked me to run because it's too hard to get in for mayor's job, but I have a chance of becoming a councilor.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why.
It's a hell of a lot of work either way.
Either way, and not only that, I was actually asked to run for council by a couple people. And they said, "Come on, you should run." I just looked them right in the eye and I went, "No freaking time. I just don't. I would have to stop. You know, a lot.
It takes a lot to run for city council. A lot of money, a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, in our town, it's not so much money. You could just basically, I just have to have my name on the ballot, make a couple of appearances in the local paper, Shaw TV thing, and the local, you know, and
You don't have to have signs or anything.
hardly anyone has very many.
Right.
And I don't think it makes a big difference
How
because
many people are in?
I was like, for the
Port
amount of people that show up to vote, it doesn't matter. It's all your friends or people that know you
Right.
are going to vote for you, and that's it. And so you've just got to know enough people that'll go down and vote.
Yeah.
Because look, really, it's like
Yeah.
20 some odd percent.
And now who
20
votes?
something percent. if
Who
you're
votes
lucky.
there though? Is it older people or are?
Yeah, it's going to be the same old, same old. Keep things the way it is. Now we just had a new mayor, a big turnover in Port Alberni. So when they had the last elections last year,
They got rid of the old guy.
yeah, finally got rid of him. Got the new guy. But it turns out I don't think he's He's not really any different. It's a small group of business people too. Don't forget that have certain things in mind, and they hold the bulk of the money in town because they
Right.
own the properties.
And who are those interests in Port Alberni?
Hard to say, really. I'd rather not go out on a limb on this one.
All right,
yeah,
that's
because
okay.
if that'd be going on a limb,
I don't mean. I wondered if it was a particular like resource industry or something.
there's
or-
the C group is a business group. I'm not sure exactly, but I do know it's the C group, and they.
It's not like
That's
McMillan,
where I bought. They
Lilydale,
own. They
you know,
own the Toyota dealership, and you know they own a number of. They own a Ace Hardware, like a big hardware store, which you know on our an RC hobby shop that is attached to it that I shop at. You know, like they own a number. They're great guys. They're two brothers that I know them both because from the RC shop, they're kind of cool dudes,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, they're a community-minded company again. It
Where do
helps
people
out.
work in Port Alberni? The majority of them.
You know, that's a tough one. Used to be the mill, but no longer.
Right.
They only employ a couple hundred people.
Like the town I'm from, Nanaimo, we had some big mills too. There was a mill just up the street from my house, on the street, on my house,
Harmac?
where my house was. Not Harmac, where my house was, but Harmac was like a 5-minute drive or a 10-minute drive from my house.
No, those days, people are doing what they can, I guess, to survive. Like, there are new people moving to the valley. I think they're the types of people that are bringing their work with them. Like, so they're probably working online, or they're.
There's Tia.
Hey, Tia.
She doesn't want us to say anything about her. But there she is. Who's this mysterious Tia? We're live on the air right now. Tia. You don't want to come on?
Want to come on, do bong rip?
Silent T. No. You guys would like Tia. She's cute. They like cute girls, Tia. All right. Chronicity.
So,
Still
okay,
haven't
my
got Duchess.
thing keeps going off.
Before we get to 420, I'll go get Duchess.
You'll go get Duchess, all right. So I can't not working. I'm
It's
missing
only
chaps.
3:29 right now, so we got some time.
Yeah. Oh, here, this is cool. I printed this off. Oh, there we go. Hey, I'm back.
You're back.
All right. This was a cool piece, actually. I got this from the Canoe Network, or CNews. So online.
Right.
And about, there's a Quebec student leaders want to spark national anti-Harper movement.
Well, that's not a bad
I'm
idea.
all for that.
Yeah, how would that work?
He's on a tour right now, cross Canada tour. This guy,
You gonna read
7
some of
days. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois has embarked on a Canada-wide tour to inspire Canadians to fight against austerity measures, as well as Prime Minister Stephen Harper. The 7-day speaking tour began Saturday in London, Ontario, and ends October 5th in Vancouver. So coming up here in a couple
Yep.
days. I just wanted, because that's why I brought it up, because I thought I'd mention, let's see if I can just find out where. Because I just printed this off before I left the house this morning. Yeah.
I'm trying to open my calendar here to see what day that is, but did you say the 5th?
October 5th.
So the 5th is a Friday.
So that's this
That's
Friday.
this Friday.
So it doesn't quite say, but I guess you could probably go on to
A
Ethan.
national anti-harper movement. Well, that's a really good idea. And so, how does this work?
I
What's
don't
the
know.
deal?
Doesn't say. Unfortunately, I thought it would tell me, but
Classic.
it
What's the
doesn't.
stupid
It doesn't
purpose
tell us. Unfortunately.
The rest of the money comes in dribs and drabs. Yeah, this is a really lame article.
It is. It is. But I just the headline caught my eye. This guy's
I guess-
traveling across the country. So
Rabble.ca and LeadNow.ca are involved.
are they okay?
That
There you go.
means,
That's what I was looking for. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. You could probably find out more there.
Yeah, at Lead Now, I'm sure we'll have something about it. Lead Now has some great protest actions posted on their website, campaigns.
Just want to ask the chat: how's the sound and everything working out today? Just how?
Everything was fine. I asked them when we started.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Thanks, Marius. Cool.
Doing my job, sir.
There you go, and a good one it is.
Thank you.
A good one it is.
So this is another thing that the Conservatives here in Canada are doing that's just totally insane and crazy. Some people think this might actually be a good thing because it's so crazy that maybe that'll make people wake up. But Conservatives are now going back on abortion. They want to reanalyze the abortion issue. And there's a committee now to take a look at when life actually begins.
Oh no, that got voted down.
Yeah, but
The motion, yeah, no, they had the motion for that was they had the vote.
So they're just attempting to do it.
Yeah, and and it was 100. Like only 98 people voted, and they were all conservatives voted for the motion, and everybody else, including conservatives, defeated it for whatever the 200 whatever votes against.
So what day was this? Just a couple days ago?
Friday.
Friday. Okay. Yeah.
But it was only because they couldn't actually prove that Harper is alive.
Yeah. Well, but the interesting thing was Rona Ambrose, the minister for, I believe, for the status of women,
Yeah.
voted for the motion.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And she's getting a severe amount of heat over it. As a matter of fact, I just sent off my own personal letter to her where I said I would call her a cunt, but she lacks both the depth and warmth.
Wow.
Well, it was a very
That's effective
strongly
writing.
worded letter, and that's just one of the
I'll
many
say.
things in there. But no, I kept it as like, but that's kind of one of the lines near the end.
That's pretty.
Well,
I
it's
was
good-
just
it's good
because-
that you kept it civil and didn't go.
Yeah,
cross
that's
that
right.
line.
Thank you very much. I
It's always good to
was,
keep it professional.
I was trying to keep.
I would have gave it to her. I don't know why you reserve yourself.
Yeah.
You're
well.
such a pussy.
Oh look, it's Marijuana Man.
There he is.
Hey, walking in here, puffing a joint. That's what I like to see. Good thing.
Puffing a fatty.
Have some killer weed.
Oh,
Oh,
look, weed. We like killer weed.
More on that on Wednesday.
More on that on Wednesday.
Mr. Man.
Oh, what's happening on Wednesday?
Well, maybe even less of it on Wednesday.
What the hell happened on Wednesday?
You're gonna have a show?
Al called, said he wants to do a show.
What the?
All right.
On Wednesday.
There you are, Wednesday.
It's weird, but okay. It does.
Oh, Becky's gonna do a show.
I know this actually. I was down there talking to Becky. So there you are. It's official. Stay tuned for after this show for Rebecca Ambrose
Vancouver
from the
Seed Bank Live.
Vancouver Seed Bank Live. Just down the street, a few blocks from us, and not too far. And of course, on Wednesday, Greg said that there he is, Marijuana Man with Al the Alchemist. These guys are going to be here. And,
What?
that's what he said a minute ago. Roll back the tape. Let's check this out.
Oh
and
shit.
that's the berm.
Oh,
That's the berm.
fuck, does that ever smell good?
I know. We're gonna do a dope deal later.
Wow.
That's right. Actually, what am I saying? Shush. Fuck that. We're selling. Who wants
all
drugs? Who wants
recreational.
drugs? It's all recreational. I do. Yeah, me too.
I don't think the cops watch this show.
Did you now something that I was hoping I wanted to ask you? Dana Larson's interview with what's his name, Doucette, on CKNW Radio.
Oh yeah, okay.
Did you listen to that?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my God!
What happened?
And you've got to get this up on the front page of Cannabis Culture.
Okay.
You
Is
really,
it-
you have. I'm not sure where to find it, but get
Watch it on demand. What station was it on?
CKNW.
Okay, I can get it from their archive.
Well,
Pretty
Doucette, I forget the guy's first name. I just sort of scribbled some notes down.
And what did he say?
Well, they were debating. He's from the Drug Prevention Coalition or something,
Drug Prevention Coalition.
or he's part
Prevent
of.
drugs from actually happening.
Yeah, I believe.
Time travel.
But he just avoided all the questions, and just like it was just really, it's amazing how these prohibitionists, these people they don't have a leg to stand on, and I really wonder how they can even look themselves in the mirror and think, oh my God, I get paid for this, like.
They
have to.
live their
They can't
lives.
even sell their shit anymore. It is just, Dana didn't even really go out of his way to say much, and made this guy look like an idiot.
Really?
And her stances. It is.
Well, because the facts speak for themselves, really, on this one.
And well, I know, like one person I got a link to it off of Facebook, and it's up on my page. I think I put it up there. And one of the person's comments underneath was the fact that he said, you cannot enforce a law people do not want enforced. And that's so true. And it was what happened during alcohol prohibition, and it's been going on with pot ever since they outlawed it. People just forget it. We're still going to use it. We're still going to grow it. I mean, we're not stopping. We're not afraid. Even in the United States, where they have these huge, ridiculous prison terms for getting caught with pot, people are still doing it.
Yeah.
So it does not deter.
No, it never
So
does.
I hope you'll get that up there. Find that, get
Yeah,
it
we'll
up.
get it.
That
CKNW.
it is absolutely, it's gold. Oh,
I
it is
love
gold.
hearing our guys just paint the wall with these.
Oh,
clowns.
you just made this guy look like. This guy made himself look like an idiot. Like he has, because of just the sense of the sensible BC makes so much sense in the simple talking points. Everybody's on board. This is why the Union of BC Municipalities are voting for this, because the whole concept of taking control, regulating, taxing makes sense. What we've been doing all this time does not, because we're just throwing good money after bad and pissing it down the drain. You know, it's like trying to cure alcoholism by drinking more Jack Daniels.
Which is a great way to do it, actually.
Yeah, oh, like that'll help. Yeah, like punish your liver.
Crazy.
I wanted to get into some quotes. Well, actually, this was a quote. Well, part of it. Actually, this was out of something I got off the front page of CC as well.
And what was that?
With Roseanne Barr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's running too. Stop
But
that.
just taken out of one of the things where she recently praised medical marijuana as a tonic for her glaucoma, as well as for government mind control.
Yeah, right.
I
I
like
know.
just getting
It's a good
that in there.
combination, yeah.
She just had to mention that, like to get that knife twist in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and government mind controls. Yeah.
No, I really like Roseanne a lot.
Yeah.
She's definitely a great advocate for marijuana these days, anyway.
Yeah.
And her show was always hilarious. It was one of the funniest. She's definitely one of the funniest female comedians out there. Just not her show is so good.
Well, the Roseanne.
Classic.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was a classic.
And her stand-up is great too.
stand was great.
Yeah,
Excellent.
she's funny. I just watched her old clip, or one of her old clips from The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and she was just great. I think it was her first big blow-up performance or something.
All right. This is a quote. I'm gonna put this one out there, and even to the chat. And if you get it right, go ahead, just like yell it out in the chat, or you can tell me
Scream
if you
it
know.
out. Okay.
Or anybody in the studio audience. There's nobody here yet, but that's okay.
It's not open
All
yet.
right. Who said this? I just got pulled over. Okay, just that cool. You were not drunk, just a little stoned. My license? Isn't it on the bumper?
Okay, say it one more time.
Okay. You just got pulled over. Okay, just act cool. You're not drunk, just a little stoned. My license, isn't it on the bumper?
I don't know. I don't know. I could fashion a guess, but it just wouldn't be. I
Wouldn't be
actually
good.
don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, so close there, Yoda. Almost.
I was thinking
the other guy.
That would have been my guess. If I had to guess, I would have thought Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, it was Tommy.
Right.
Yeah, Tommy Chong.
Right.
When they
Okay.
were from the movie. They were got
From-
pulled over by a cop with open smoke. I forget which one. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an open bumper. Yeah. Right. And but
My
I
license-
do remember when
is
they
it
get
an
pulled
open
over and
bumper?
stuff. I remember that scene. I just don't remember that line.
All right. And who said this? Now here's a quote. Now, you'll have to look this one up, probably, but it's not that hard. We should all know this one.
Okay.
Not only do I think marijuana should be legalized, I think it should be mandatory.
Bill Maher.
No, you got his first name right.
Bill Hicks.
That's who it was.
Yep.
Bill
Romulan had it.
Bill Hicks.
Right on.
Nice. Bill Hicks is a great comedian. Yeah, speaking of awesome comedians, and he had a great message with all of his stuff, like Roseanne. Roseanne kind of had a message in her comedy as well, sort of a working class message. But yeah, Bill Hicks had quite an outright message. Poor guy, though. He isn't with us anymore.
No, it's very unfortunate. And yeah, one of the things I really like, one of his bits where he comes out and he says, yeah, I think when they elect a new president, they take him into this little room,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of big banker guys sitting around a table smoking cigars, and a little screen rolls up on the wall, and they show a picture of the Kennedy assassination taken from an angle nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and they look at you and they go, "Any questions?" And the president says, and the new president goes, "Just what my agenda is."
Yeah.
That was Bill Hicks.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bits that he does, for sure. See,
Yeah,
I was
he's
going to
so
mention all this about cannabis roots, the hidden history of marijuana, but we've done this.
It's been done.
That was done.
done.
We had Chris Bennett came in, and look at that. It just worked that way. What time is it?
The mob killed
3:43.
Kennedy.
The mob killed Kennedy.
I don't think it was the mob.
Wow, what a tard.
I think it could have been the mob with the CIA, but I think it was definitely orchestrated by the government. But who knows? I mean, it's hard to say. I kind of really like the Oliver Stone movie JFK, and I know it's not completely accurate 100%, but it has a lot of really interesting details that are correct in it, and it's worth a watch. That movie's fantastic.
What was that? Down and to the right.
Back and to the left.
Back and to the left?
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, back and to the left.
Back
Yeah,
and to
there
the
it
left.
is. That's the one.
Yeah, that's
Kevin Costner.
great film, Kevin Costner. And actually, what's interesting about that movie is when it came out, the left wing really attacked it because it's weird. Within the progressive left media, there is a lot of sort of, I call it left gatekeeping, that's what some people call it, where there's certain articles and stories that just don't make it through. Like any 9/11 Truth articles, for instance, aren't allowed to be posted on the Huffington Post or anything like it. Like Jesse Ventura isn't allowed to post a lot of his thoughts on Huffington Post, even though he's got an account there. They block him from doing that.
Well, that's because it's not Ariana Huffington anymore. Probably AOL
Well,
or whatever.
no, but she decides as well. She says that we don't want any conspiracy theories on our website or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so that means that's blocking a lot of like real information, stuff like that. But in the left media, they attacked Oliver Stone when that movie came out a lot. And there's a lot of people like Noam Chomsky who say that Kennedy wasn't assassinated by the government and or the intelligence community, and that it was probably just a lone gunman. And he says, well, why would they assassinate Kennedy? Because Kennedy was doing everything that they wanted to do. And Noam Chomsky wrote a book called Rethinking Camelot, where he analyzes the Kennedy administration and says that they were just as bad as the other ones, and they were doing just as much horrible stuff.
Oh, that's my saying for sure. Every single, doesn't matter who you vote for, the government always gets in, and once they do, I mean, until government fears the people, they're out of control.
Yeah.
They have to be worried about people, and the only way that happens is you consistently need to have like 80 to 90% voter turnout. I mean, regularly. And then government will fear the people. Because they know that if they step out of line, there's a sniff of something wrong, and or you're not even doing a good job. Things don't get better, your ass is out of there. And that's the way it works. But as long as there's voter apathy, these guys, they're not scared, so they're going to roughshod over us, which is what's been going on for as long as I've been alive.
There's some talk about Chomsky in the chat here. Chomsky is a puppet as well as a thinker. And somebody said Chomsky is on a leash. He's allowed to live because he knows just when to bend over when it matters most, says Romulan. I totally agree with that. I think that's true. I really love Chomsky. Chomsky, when I started reading Chomsky, he brought a lot of things into my life that I didn't know and enlightened me to all kinds of stuff that I was just blown away by.
Videos of his.
Oh, he's amazing, and he has tons of great stuff. But as Romulan said, he doesn't really go all the way sometimes, and he doesn't analyze the intelligence community. When it comes to the intelligence community, he seems to come back from any criticism or real direct analysis. And I think that's probably because he wants to live. Maybe.
Or maybe some of his sources come from that way. I don't know.
Yeah, but he doesn't really. It's not that he has inside sources. He just addresses the literature that's already available there. And he always talks about, this is public information and this is available and stuff. But when it came to the Kennedy assassination, I've read some of the stuff about how Chomsky responded to the Kennedy assassination in the beginning, and he was a lot more critical. But there's some stuff online now. I don't know if it's true or not, but that talks about a car ride that Chomsky went for with some other people, and after the end of the car ride, they were just told to ignore this or something, and if not, who knows what would happen to them. And afterwards, they just resolved to not talk about it. And Chomsky, there was something like Chomsky saying, if I want to be here to criticize anything else, we can't talk about this one, or something along those lines. I should find that link. I'm going to try and find that link. But, it's scary stuff because, of course, when you start really criticizing, look what happens to people. A lot of people are disappeared or erased, or people who criticize particular groups. Even up till recently, there's been, I think, blatant taking out, murders, basically. Like that madame who was killed, who supposedly hung herself in her mom's garage. And she was critical of the government and critical of a whole bunch of politicians in New York, and then she hung herself with a piano wire or something ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I totally agree that I have to wonder about that.
But
and again,
I got a little off on a tangent there.
You've got in the omnibus budget bill that's going on, that Rick Mercer so conveniently pointed out in one of his rants that went viral on YouTube, how in the budget bill, the omnibus budget bill, part 2, that they're ramming through, there's a provision where the FBI is allowed to come onto Canadian soil and arrest Canadians. So Rick Mercer has so aptly pointed this out, and then actually I saw him being interviewed on CBC National last night. And I asked him a little bit about that, and he was actually quite shocked to find that out himself, and the show writers and the lawyers had to go. He was surprised he found nothing about it, and he mentioned this on CBC National News last night, how he found nothing about this anywhere, in any main news sources anywhere in Canada, so they had to go to the budget to verify. And basically they said, so that's why in his rant that he mentions this. And again, he's like, well, where does the FBI coming here to arrest Canadian citizens have anything to do in a budget bill?
Yeah.
But this is the kind of shit that's going on. And there's, I've seen some quotes up lately too, where Stephen Harper, when he was in opposition, had spoken very strongly against omnibus bills. Oh no, they're bad, can't have them. And now he's presented the largest ones ever in Canadian history. This second budget omnibus bill is even larger than the first part. So, I mean...
Yeah, I know they keep...
Well, this is because they're throwing shit like this in there.
Yeah. Oh, they're clever though. They just can ram through everything they want this way.
Well, this is what it is. I don't want clever and politicians. I want serving politicians.
I'd like them to be clever if they were working towards the public benefit.
Well, if you've got a good idea, run it by me, and I'll decide how clever you are. And as by me, I mean the public. Don't be clever behind closed doors and going about things what you know. It was clever for you and your party. Fuck that shit. No. You're here to serve, and that's what we need is politicians who serve. And the only way to do that is to get everyone to go out and vote.
Yep.
If, you know, it would scare the shit out of them if like everybody shut the whole freaking place down because oh no, we're all at the polls. You know, sorry, you know, there's no, what happened? There's everybody. Everybody went to go vote.
But realistically,
they all
will
fucked
that
off.
happen? Why don't people vote? What is it that's stopping people? That's what we really need to get at because we can tell people to vote all the time and then still nobody votes for some reason.
Well, earlier here I saw we were talking about voting and someone said, well, Harper has made it almost impossible for voting to mean anything. And it's things where people have the as long as people think that way. Now,
if we voted him out, then that wouldn't be true.
And here's where another problem comes up.
It'd be some other guy.
Couple elections in where I've lived in Port Alberni, like as I did run there. Well, in the Alberni area, I run twice, once federally and once provincially, and actually it was back to back. I ran 2003 federally and 04 provincially, so it was bang bang. No stranger there to politics in that area, so everybody knows me. Yeah. And then we've had 2 elections since then. We've had federal election, we've had provincial elections since then. And every time people say, "Are you running? Are you running?" You know, and I would get like the Ucluelet Chamber of Commerce calling me, and the Qualicum Chamber of Commerce calling me. You know, are you going to be running? Because when I did, actually, attendance at the all candidates meetings was up like 30 to 40%. Well, maybe not 40, but around 25-35%, somewhere in there. Well, marijuana party guy even wanted to come down and see me. I was waving big bags of weed around, and you know. They wanted to see the show. Yeah. And then they liked what I had to say. So like, well, I think it'd be pretty cool. Because well, it's like the sensible BC thing. You're just making sense. You're just straight up from the hip, shoot from the hip, no bullshit. Yeah. And also I understand a lot of other political issues, so I wasn't just a one-horse pony. Yeah. Since then I don't run, and I continuously tell people, it says because we have the Pirate Party ran in the last election. Yeah. In our riding, we always have, her name is Barb Billingsley. She's a wonderful lady. I love her very much. But she usually runs every time for the Marxist-Leninist Party. Oh, yeah. The we get the Canadian Coalition. It's basically a Christian group that fields a candidate. And all these other candidates do is split the vote. All they do is ensure that the same people, in our case, James Lonnie as federally, wins again because they take votes away from the very one candidate, our NDP candidate, who has a chance in our area. It's the only person who has a chance to unseat the guy. Yeah. So I say, no. If I run, I'm just taking 500 votes away from Zini Martin or whoever was our candidate last time.
Zeni.
Yeah, she was an NDP candidate in the last federal, I believe, and
she's a friend of mine.
You know Zini, yeah?
I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll have to mention that when I see her next time.
You should.
I will.
She'll remember me.
They all know me. I mean, they are every time they come. Well, I'm good friends with our MLA, Scott Fraser.
Oh yeah.
Our NDP MLA. Yeah, me and Scott are good buddies. I just saw him at the fall fair in Port Alberni a couple weeks ago.
Now,
had a little conversation with him. I had to go see
Vapor Central just posted a link to the Dana Larson radio interview you were talking about earlier on the show.
Awesome.
And I've just actually added that to the show notes right now.
Perfect. Yeah, because that's really, it's not that long. It's like 13 or 14 minutes, maybe, give or take. And it's really, you're just listening to it. It's hysterical.
Dana Larson on the radio. There's the link.
Yeah, awesome. Great, man. Well done.
For those watching on demand later.
Yeah, you'll want to definitely go and listen to that. It's, and you can see exactly how simple it was for Dana with a few simple words to make this. And this guy just couldn't answer the shit. He had to go off. And, oh God, it was funny. It was funny. If I could have had it up, I would have, but I wasn't prepared. I'm not very prepared today. It's Friday I didn't get to see any of you guys on shrooms because I was driving to Victoria where I went to my dentist appointment. And the previous Monday, well, we were at Sensible BC in Victoria, so I basically went to Victoria Monday and then I went back on Friday.
Yeah.
So I had a very
All over the place.
short week to get shit done. And so I thought we'd just wing it today. And as always, if anyone's got any grow questions, now's the time to ask.
Grow questions. Let's go to the chat here.
Yeah.
I was searching around.
Marius
for that.
usually keeps an eye on that, and if anybody's got anything, but I'll just remind y'all folks there out there in Pot TV land, yeah, this is
Pale yellow leaves might mean ?
pale yellow. Well, how long, at what,
Might mean anything, I guess.
yeah, at what stage, sorry, no, I was looking at the, how do you make marijuana seeds out of thin air from Bravo 420. For Jack, pale yellow leaves, at what stage of growth are we in?
Seedlings.
Are we in bud? If they're in seedlings, well, it could be a lack of nitrogen, as Kay mentioned, or it could be poor light. You need better lighting, or you just need to feed them, like Yoda's saying. And there you go. A good idea would be to buy Yoda's book, man. Get it, and because this is the kind of stuff that you want for. Because it covers the basics, and if you follow things like the soil preparation, make up a good soil base, and you've got proper light, you've got good nutrients, you've got good airflow, you're not going to have issues like pale yellow leaves. So something where in the prep stage, if they're just seedlings, you know, could be also that you've just got bad seed, like your old seeds, but it sounds to me like it's something else.
Does flowering begin when it's mature and not before, despite 12/12?
It would all depend on the strain, what's considered mature. I can think that most plants, once you've got about, once they're about yay high, as long as they're really healthy, you can force them into flower at 12/12. If you let them mature though, you'll probably get a larger bud set. Hey, Kimberly's here. Hi, hon. How you doing? Just walked into the set. Yay, our first studio audience person.
That's right.
Welcome to the studio.
Had a hard time finding it.
Oh,
Couldn't find it, and after that,
so I had to go up and ask Greg.
I went up, he said, oh yeah, well, you walked up the stairs, and I thought, okay, he must be down in the basement.
Oh, second floor vapor lounge.
Mick, there's another question here,
Sure.
and this is one I've heard before, never really got an answer on, and there seems to be some debate about. Mick, what state of ripeness do you harvest based upon trichomes, or based on trichomes? Cloudy, amber, percentage, etc.? Question mark.
Well, yeah, if you're looking through like a 30 power, one of those handheld microscopes, just to give you a good view, I'd like to say, well, first of all, most strains are about 8 weeks. So, you know, you're looking at that 50, anywhere from 50 some odd days or high 40, 48 days to, in some strains, not too many, to, you know, 60 some odd days in longer strains. Even 70, 72. Unusual, but as far as trichomes, you know, you're looking at about 50% are cloudy and amber. Even if 50% are still clear, I'd say anytime after that, you know, that's ready there. You can let them go a little longer. Also, I like to look at, oh, well, how much flushing have you done? Like how, you know, sometimes it's, oops, I got a little behind there, I fed them one time maybe a little too much, and so they're at 7 weeks. No, I'm gonna probably wanna, you know, wait more. I don't wanna flush them for more, I wanna flush them more than just a week. So, you know, they're gonna get a little further along. And that way, another way to do it is when things like that happen, check them then, so you go, oh wow, like these are all amber. When I cut it down, because I had to wait for something to happen, or it just happens a lot is when you grow in rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, the strain is dependent a big part on it, but you know, at 50% of cloudy to amber, is anytime after that is a good time to cut them down. Well, look, 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock.
4 bells.
Ding, ding, ding. I'm gonna go grab Duchess.
Go. I was say, go grab Duchess. It's 4 bells.
I will do that. I was just scoping on something here. What was that? Oh, that's right. I wanted to mention coming up on October 5th on the Pot TV network. I'm not really sure how this is going to work or how much we're going to be able to broadcast, but from the 5th to the 7th, we should have some broadcasts from Expo Cannabis 2012 in Madrid, Spain.
Yo, are you
Luis
sending me to do that?
Suarez. Yeah, you're going.
I'm right on. Okay.
Right here, here.
Out of here. I'm sending to Pot TV.
You're going to Spain.
I wish.
Get your big hat.
Get my big hat. Get my bullfighting cape.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, and Luis Suarez is going to head there. We're going to be recording some stuff live. There'll be speeches, other things. Maybe he'll be doing interviews with some of the vendors, the people there. There's an article on the front page of Cannabis Culture right now called Expo Cannabis 2012 in Madrid. Check that out on the front page of
Is that
CC.
Louise who works upstairs?
That's right, yeah. There's a video there that shows off kind of what the place is all about and how it went last year in 2011. And yeah, he's going to be broadcasting, so it should be kind of cool. Just wanted to
Green
let people
screen.
know about that. Say what?
I don't know. Yoda said green screen, Mick, like the Daily Show.
Haha. We could put up a green screen. I have used one before.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I filmed actually my very first Pot TV show on a green screen. It was called Weed This Week. It was my original before I did Cannabis Culture News Live. Before I did a live show, I filmed one.
Yes.
And it was about the Olympics here in Vancouver and Arnold Schwarzenegger and a bunch of stuff. And I put a green screen on the back, filmed it in front, and then I dropped in a picture behind me where all the clocks said 4:20. I had like a tailored up black and white photo of a newsroom behind me. And it worked perfectly.
You know, Yoda's saying they can just put me in Madrid on the green screen.
That'd be perfect.
There we go. We'll just pretend we're
Yeah,
there.
we could totally do like how Jon Stewart does that. That'd be funny. We could set up a green screen. It's not too hard. We do have the software to do it, I do believe.
Oh, good. So we could. Do we have a green screen with like time travel? We could actually go back and be in like Toker's bowls and stuff.
Yeah, you could totally jump around through time.
That'll be good.
Anything you want.
All right. Well,
You can visit Elvis
Santa's sleigh.
Like I always wanted to.
Riding Santa's
there
sleigh.
you are. Riding Santa's sleigh. I already did that.
Race car driving.
Yeah. There you go. Hanging out on top of Mount Everest.
That's right. Yeah, any of those.
They're always good.
Anything really funny. All right, I guess I'll go get Duchess.
Go get Duchess, and I guess
When I get back, I got one more story to talk about too.
Oh, get back and bring that up. What was I gonna do? I was gonna hit Criticity. Oh, how you doing there, Con?
Yeah. I have to find, move it for you.
I'm doing great. So what's everyone smoking there today? I'm just curious. We got this yummy Burmese here today. Check that out. It's the usual standby. Got a fresh harvest. So it smells better than normal. Well, it smells better than when it's old. It makes more sense. And oh, here's what I'm looking for right here. And yeah, it's real nice here on the old second floor. I wish there was more people in here in the room right now.
I don't know why they haven't opened it. I'll tell them that they care.
Yeah, it's like, I know they should be opening it up. Well, I'm going to be in, oh, that's something I could tell you. Right, I knew there was something else I wanted to mention. I'll be in Toronto next month. Well, this month now. We're into October. Hey, welcome. It's October 1st. That's right. So I will be in Toronto on the weekend of 12, 13, 14. And if you're on October the 15th, which is a Monday, I'll be doing the show live from Vapor Central with our good friend Matt Murnaugh. So yeah, you too, Jack. It'll be good to see you too. And So yeah, we'll see you all there, and look forward to doing that show. Next week is Canadian Thanksgiving. So we'll not sure, but we think we'll be coming down and doing a show that day. Whoops, we're sitting on the weed, dude.
Oh, the berm. It's a
There you
nice
go.
weed pillow. Look at
So
this.
anyhow,
Just arrived in the mail. One of the many books sent to the Cannabis Culture offices.
that's good.
Looks good.
The red.
The Rev.
Oh, from the Rev. Oh, this will be a great book. Oh, I'm gonna have to get this.
You might have to take this copy and give us a review.
I might just have to do that. I've followed quite a few of the Rev's things. Writes in Skunk Magazine quite a bit. I also know him from, well, years back. We used to be on the same forums on a pot-related website, and talked quite a bit back and forth. And this guy's knowledge of organics is just outstanding. Out-freaking-standing.
The book is beautiful.
Oh, it's an amazing looking book.
Full color photos, some really nice ones too.
Nice glossy, thick pages. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
Yeah.
a really nice book. Yeah. No, this guy, Rev, his stuff is just excellent.
You can't really see, I suppose. Yeah, good looking book.
It's 407.
It's
I better
thick
rip
and
this
heavy.
bong. Yeah, it's a
Solid one.
shiny.
Take a peek at her.
Yeah, we're gonna hit this bong here first.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I
Hey.
guess.
Prime your bongs.
Now I just spoke with Willie upstairs. Willie, awesome.
Oh, prime them?
Prime him. Yeah. Get him ready.
Okay. It's ready.
Well, we still got a bit of time, so.
Oh, I'm hitting this one now. I'll do another one. Screw it.
You know what? I think we're going to be joined by Mr. Willie Awesome, who is bringing down a big, huge bong that he has upstairs. Bigger than
Willie's
these
coming
guys.
down?
Willie's coming down. So says Willie when I went upstairs just now.
Really,
Willie Awesome works in our
Really
lounge.
awesome.
He's a guitarist, a musician, a singer, performs at our events, and great activist, hardworking guy. Been here for a long time. And he's Willie Awesome. May I borrow your lighter, my friend?
Yeah, man.
Good day to the Duchess.
Somebody earlier, I'm not sure who, asked, how do you make seeds out of thin air?
Is that a joke?
No, somebody was asking. I don't think they
I
were
was waiting
joking.
for the punchline.
Oh, I'm not joking.
I see.
No, I think it's, well, the simplest way would be to go down to your nearest seed bank, sit out front, get a guitar, and make a sign that says, music for seed, needs money for seeds.
That's a good way to do it.
And since you're standing in front of the seed bank, I'm sure someone will probably, help you out.
Better yet, I just saw this. I was distracted by a YouTube video this morning, which happens quite often to me. I'm watching stupid YouTube videos, and it was brilliant. Some camera people were watching this homeless guy sitting on the side, or I don't know if he was homeless or whatever. He just was like covered in a little hoodie,
Right.
sitting there, and he had a little cup holder in front of him, and people were walking by filling it up with money, and they were just sitting there watching him with the camera because he wasn't moving. He was so still. And then a guy came walking by, and he put a little money down the cup, and then he grabbed the other guy to lift him up, and it was actually a dummy that he had set up there to collect money. And it just looked like a dude sitting there really still.
Wow.
But it was perfect, and the guy probably had a bunch of them around, and just goes, it was brilliant.
It's like
It looked
it's
amazing.
That's his own personal bank machine.
Yeah, exactly. And he had this cup full of money. People were just dropping money in it the whole time.
Creativity.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
And the guys just start
You
laughing and laughing.
could just have them all over the place.
Yeah.
Really?
So that sounds like a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Get some money together for a dummy.
And then I
And
said,
a
who
hoodie.
are you calling a dummy?
Yeah, Morris will sit there for you.
Well, they're probably talking. I mean, when you see people that are sleeping, with blankets, like right on over their head.
Yeah.
They're completely covered up. And then they got their hat out, you know, and I'm like, what do you expect to wake up and have like a hat full of money?
Yeah, we should just throw a
Like-
mannequin under a blanket and put a little paper cup next to it, and we'll come back and it'll be a fortune by the time we
I like the guy actually who leaves his stuff and then just leaves and just goes away altogether, you know, like, yeah, and then you're not even there. They should have a picture, they should just take a picture of themselves and have it there, you know,
a good idea.
and just have a box.
Yeah.
There's one that says, "Don't
Be
worry,
back
I
for
am spending
my
money
change.
on booze."
Yeah, exactly.
that's right.
I'm drunk right now.
And I'm gonna ban for draw
Yeah.
money for that.
Be back when I'm sober.
I'm out drinking.
Please leave
Drinking
your
your
cash.
money right now. Leave me some money. I'll be thirsty when I get back.
That's right.
I'll
But
need more.
not to joke around about homeless people. There's a lot of mental illness and that kind of thing that
Yeah.
contributes to these things. And we're down here on Hastings Street, so there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on around here, and it's more sad than anything.
Yeah. Money for weed. Nickels for narcotics.
Yeah.
Saving up for some good weed.
Mental illness is funny, somebody says. Well, I guess it could be. Depends on the joke.
Yeah, well, you know. But as long as it's just joking. We're just kidding.
That's right.
Yeah, nothing serious here.
Yes.
Now, I was going to mention something else and I slipped my mind again. Imagine that, I just did a big bong rip.
I can't imagine it. How did that happen? Yeah, I'm really high now.
Yeah, we're high. Oh, look. well, it's
Super
worth it.
high, flying high. I do
Well-
like the studio.
The studio's great. I'm going to have to start
And
thinking
people,
of
I
some
wonder
more
if people
shit
like
to
the new
do.
set. Chat, what do you think of the the Mik Mann set? See, now we can mix it up every time because this is a big room. We can do anything we want, really. Doesn't have to be in front of the Museum of Psychoactive Substances sign. But what a great sign it is with the little cannabis bottles. And those bottles actually live in the museum, the real bottles, not just paintings of them.
We're going to be able to do some swapping and changing around here.
How did you guys know that? How did we know what, Sixth Sense?
Thanks, Steel Town. Glad you like the new set. That's really 6 cents.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. Whoa, the other thing I was going to talk about was on the front page of Cannabis Culture right now is an article from the Canadian Press. We just aggregated it, linking to where it goes back to the Ottawa Citizen, about Amsterdam.
Right.
That article that was published, I thought it was pretty good. It
Is
specifically
that where it
mentions...
goes to the Ottawa Citizen? Is that where it came from?
Yeah, the one that I found came from the Ottawa Citizen. I believe it was published in different newspapers all across Canada because it was a Canadian press story.
Right.
So it goes out on the wire, goes everywhere, and all the major papers take it. They're all owned by the same few corporations who use those same wire services. But yeah, the title of the one that we nabbed was Amsterdam visitors want to partake in city's liberal approach to marijuana. And I actually thought the journalist did a pretty good job. There were a few little mistakes and a couple things that she missed, but yeah, it was cool. They don't mention our vapor lounge here, which actually might be a blessing in disguise, because we might not want the negative attention to what's going on here in the newspaper all across Canada. Sometimes when you get published really big and it talks about particular things you're doing there, the cops show up. It's happened to Mark many times in the past. Usually after Mark would be on CNN or any of the big networks or across Canada in a really big story, or usually across the United States, that's when the cops would come knocking through. And
That's what happened
snooping
to
around.
the Kind on commercial.
Yeah,
Same thing.
right.
You know.
Yep, you get too much publicity in a certain way, and then they start breathing down your neck because it embarrasses them.
Sorry, Meditoke, I know I was playing with the mic, but I just changed the setting because someone was saying what Wave said you wanted a smaller sound, so I just changed the setting to just from us here instead of going out all over, and I was wondering if that's better.
Wave is telling you what to do here.
Not bad. He said, okay, so Romulan said, yeah, it is. There you go, okay, good enough. Thanks, because I got about 4 different settings on this mic that we're using on the table.
Yeah.
So these guys, everyone says better. So okay, I know.
There you
So
go.
I changed the setting. So
How did you change it?
oh,
touch
there's
it
a thing
again.
on the back that gives you all these. I got all these different settings here.
Oh yeah, I see.
So this one is like
nice
that. It's the top, the stereo setting.
It's a pretty cool microphone. It's pretty huge.
It's more focused up here. I had it more room setting. And
Oh yeah, that would be if we had like more people around, I suppose.
yeah. Well, that's good. For next time, we'll know.
416.
416. Oh, wow. Look
Man,
at
come on,
that.
Slam me your water. I'm
Hey,
so
Gomer,
thirsty.
go ahead.
Woo woo.
Oh,
It's getting close. I guess we better get those bongs loaded.
I think you're right.
Say even I sound better.
Oh, well,
I
there.
don't know how I could have possibly sounded worse.
Maybe when you came over here. Like,
Maybe.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got a crooner's voice, Marius. Start singing Frank Sinatra.
I know I know you're looking better.
So.
Here, clear that up so I can refill. You can fill Duchess. Give me the ashtray.
Yeah.
Let's get this going here for. Oh.
I was reading about glass this weekend, actually. What an amazing thing. Comes from sand, melted down into this interesting substance. I was reading all about the silica process and how it's just a fascinating thing. I see how people in our community can get obsessed with glass because it's quite beautiful. Pieces of artwork. But what a great substance. It's just such a durable and beautiful thing.
It's beautiful in all forms.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody just poking their head in.
Yeah, that was the staff member.
Oh,
Waking up lounge.
I like cupcakes.
Yeah, that was something I said when I was on mushrooms, and I must say that when I said that, that was totally fabricated. I wasn't actually thinking about cupcakes. I was thinking of something funny to say, so I wasn't actually tripping out. And it was only because
Why
the
just
day-
spoil it,
the day
Marius?
before- no, I don't like to lead people until
I
the
understand.
wrong candidate. And the day before, we were going to go buy cupcakes, but we never got a chance to because we stayed.
We still haven't gone to get
So
fucking
that's where the
cupcakes.
cupcakes came from, guys.
I know we had plans with Jodie to go get some delicious cupcakes,
I know.
but I don't know what happened to that.
okay, well that settles it. I want cupcakes on my show
I don't know
next
where to
week,
get 'em.
man.
Yeah.
You better bring cupcakes because I want them here.
Cupcakes are so good.
I'm gonna be hassling you
They're
for
so
cupcakes.
delicious. Just any of them. No, I don't care.
I thought you meant like
Look at this.
No, they're
This
just
is
delicious.
cool.
just any of them.
Any of them. I've never met a cupcake I didn't like.
This was one of the things that I know that Rev does, and I've read a few of his articles on making teas. And definitely, you know, a lot of times it's just here, he's got an indoor earthworm farm, and he's got a jar on the bottom, and he's collecting the leachate tea from an earthworm farm is really high in total dissolved minerals. It's like the gooey water in the bottom. It's this black muck.
It looks disgusting.
It looks absolutely horrid and disgusting, but you know that's the kind of stuff that. And I know I was reading another where he was taking worm casings and manures, and he's like, you put them in a bucket with certain waters, and then you bubble them with an air stone for a couple of days. And like
Yeah.
it's a stinking, horrid mess, I'm sure, but that's the kind of stuff that just it does. It's true living organics, the ultimate guide to growing all natural marijuana indoors. But it's a living soil that you're having. The soil is always alive, and when you do it right, the results are phenomenal. I've seen. This is what they're all doing down in California. You've seen those pictures on those legal grows outdoors, and they've got those wicked plants.
There it is.
420, happy 420, everybody.
It's waiting. Seemed like it was taking forever.
Mine too. You take that?
Everybody's alarm went off.
We'll have to do a Vancouver to get everybody's to go off.
That's what the
421
Victoria, Chemical Wellness at 420 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 420.
Actually, I just got the lighter app as well.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's good stuff.
You seen this one?
Thanks, man.
Here, go get your boot. Go have a boot. I'll hold it for work.
Lighter app, that's crazy. It drifts around as you do it.
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't show them, really.
Yeah.
Maybe you could, but
Well, no.
you have to put City down.
It's just the. It's just an app with our Zippo lighter.
It's a gag app.
Yeah.
They're fun.
It's good for concerts.
Yeah, that's
for
your
encore.
iPhone.
Here's your encore. Hold up your lighter. You got a flame.
Now I'm kind of ashamed about something because I read online about how the iPhone 5s are made
Yes.
and how like horrifying.
You
the whole
posted
process.
something about
I
that.
posted something about
You
it.
even posted something.
Please sit. May I have a bong tip?
Go for it, sir. Mr. Morris, have a bong hit.
They can see me up here. Yeah, the iPhone 5, and I'm sure all the iPhones, and I'm sure all the other phones, probably all the other phones out there are probably made in a similar way. But I read an article that was really bad about how the iPhone 5s are made and how they're under pressure to make a whole bunch of them. And this journalist went undercover into the factory where they're made, which is in China. It's called Foxconn.
Foxconn, yeah.
And he talked about some of the conditions in the factory, and some of those conditions include machines that are so hot there's this special kind of coolant they're using that sprays out of the machines into the faces of the people who are working there, and so they have to wear masks. And they were complaining that they were only getting one mask a week instead of one every day. And like this little mask is really going to help when you're getting sprayed with this coolant. It's just so horrifying. It's ridiculous. It's crazy that they can do this and have basically slavery to make all of our goods. I'm sure the camera was made in a similar fashion. The microphone, our computers, probably everything was.
Yeah.
I've seen the construction and what they have for construction safety there, and that's just bad.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of bad press from Foxconn and in regards
Yeah.
to the making of Apple products in particular, but that's just one. And I mean, like we were talking about earlier in the show, when we were talking about Kennedy and things like this. This is the way things have been done for longer than you and me have ever been around.
Yeah.
Than you and me put together. It's been going on a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
And nothing has really changed. The only thing that's changed is we seem to just turn a blind eye if it's not happening right next door to us. It's not in our backyard. It's not, we just don't.
Or everybody's doing it.
Yeah, or else, very common thing that people say is, well, but what can you do? What can you do? Well, you could just not buy the stuff. But I mean, how many people are like, oh no, I'm not giving up my iPhone.
Yeah. Faber says
Myself
so.
included. So that's really the problem is you really do your money. Money is really what speaks the loudest. Is not your vote.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing
your
is, I know
cash.
I'm going to get an iPhone 5, and I'm sad about it, but that's the phone that I want. It goes with all my other shit and so on and so forth. But I don't know. It's just terrible. Should I? I don't know. Horrible.
Hey, David Malmo Levine walking by. Going into that, or was it just the fungus?
That
Might
was-
have been the
that
fungus
was-
in the back. I think it was the
Could be
fungus.
the fungus
Could
node.
have been the fungus. Could have been the psychoactive
alternative.
substance back there.
They're better phones. Yeah, are there better phones though that are made of glass? All the other phones are made of plastic. Every phone is made of plastic. Maybe there's another one made of glass. I don't know.
Speaking of, I just got this thing on here, Ghost Armor.
Yeah, and our old phones were made probably in the same fashion, right? It's really bad because I got an iPhone now. So,
Well, unfortunate. But we can't fix everything, but right now we just want to, hey, Sensible BC, we want to support this strongly and wholeheartedly. So, once again, before we got 5 minutes, and I know Becky's probably on there. I can't see any of that because we're on a different screen. I'm not on in the live stream.
No, I don't see her camera up yet.
Not yet? Okay. Oh, look, here's Willie.
Willie's got the big
Willie
one.
Awesome, here he is.
Here, you should
Come on in, Willie.
You slide in there.
I'm pretty sure enough so that everybody can have a toke from the big bong if they want.
Wow.
Well, we have weed here too, so it's not weed's not a
Get this
problem around
bong
here.
in the camera view.
This is like a free mark bong.
It is a free mark bong.
Check this big sucker out here. There you are. You can get that in the camera shot. That's in there. Oh, look at that. It actually fits in the
That
shot.
thing's huge.
Wow.
How tall is that, Willie?
It's about 4.5, I think.
4.5 footer.
You can't hit it yourself.
No, you need someone to
You need
light
some,
this
you,
sucker
you, you
for
need
you.
a friend.
You have to have friends.
You need friends. This is a 2-person.
You have to have friends.
That's a dual bong.
Jeremiah, would you like the first toke?
Yeah. Sure, if you want me to. Why not? You never say no. This thing is gigantic. That thing's huge. I guess that's the only time the ladies say that, huh, Willie? When you're carrying the bong around?
I don't know, my gut's pretty big.
Nice, nice. And your heart, too. It's got a big heart.
So, actually, while we're doing this, Mr. Marius, if you would, why not put up one more time, if your people are interested in going to Cannabis Roots, the hidden history of marijuana, put up the contact maybe
You're
for
welcome
the
to.
urban shop, or it's not 604
Nice
Mind
weed.
lighting mine?
662
I don't mind at all.
That's an atomic haze.
5355
Nice.
or the urban shaman at
Wow, that's
hotmail.com.
Alright. Keep sucking. Wow, this thing's crazy. There we go.
Hey, how's it going there, guys? Good, good. We're just
You want to keep this down here?
doing a little live Pot TV here. This is Opus Live. Welcome to the show.
I just wanted to come
That
down.
was awesome.
Gotta get back
Thanks
to
for bringing the
people
big
high.
bong.
People coming into the Vapor Lounge
Yes,
here
it is Bong
today.
Its name is what?
Bong Jeremy.
Bong Jeremy? Nice. Good name.
I'll take a hit on that.
Okay.
Sure. Here, I got some.
Where
What do
did
you
the
got
name
there?
come from?
This is an atomic haze.
Oh, let's try some of that.
Where did the name come from?
There's some Burmese you
The
can
name
try.
I just thought was funny because it was a big, giant, phallic-shaped thing that people put their mouths on, like Ron Jeremy.
I see. Bong Jeremy. Yeah, that's really good. I like it.
That's like my my pistol bong. I named Hunter Thompson.
That's a good one.
I didn't know you had a pistol bong.
Yeah, I have one of those gun bongs.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Big bong.
Thank
I like
you.
it.
Bong
Nice.
Jeremy.
Bong Jeremy.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Have
Here,
fun
have a
being
hit.
out
Have a
there.
hit. Fill it up for yourself there.
Oh, I'll do another one, yeah.
Philly for Willie.
I want one too. Please.
Oh, Marius wants one.
Marius.
Kimberly wants one.
You did say everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone except Marius.
It's 4:29. If Rebecca's not ready, we'll have to stay here doing bong hits. That's
Are
what's-
you not in the studio?
No, I'm not. I'm here.
Here, I'll go in the studio.
Oh yeah. No, Marius is in the studio, not me.
I'm gonna go in there. We'll check it out, and then we can see if Rebecca's indeed on the other end of things. Which she may be. Thanks, Willie.
What's this? Oh. Jeremiah iPhone 5 scratch test.
She's online.
Oh. Is it not,
She's online?
is it made of plastic or something? I thought it was made of glass.
Pretty face, yes.
Oh
If
yes,
it's made of
okay. So
plastic,
Rebecca
I'm gonna be
Ambrose is there. It's
really annoyed.
4:30. And
I'm just gonna
right on.
keep my iPhone 4 if that's the case.
She's 2 thumbs up.
Pull it.
Oops. I want to say, thank you for the Rebecca gave me a nice piece of amethyst today. It's probably over there. It's in my stuff. Thank you very much. It's a cool little piece, and I like it very much. It's my birthstone. So that's kind of
Willie.
cool. Came from Thunder Bay,
That was awesome.
which I was told that is a place where a lot of amethyst comes from. And Rebecca, she knows a guy.
There's Rebecca.
There she is. I see her. So
Hi, Becky, if
Apparently,
you're out
she
there.
knows a guy. They got a source. So I got a nice chunk of
I wonder if she's listening.
jade.
She just went away from her. thing
Yeah,
now.
she waved and walked away. She probably hears me. Can you hear us? We'll talk louder.
Becky.
Let's talk louder.
Rebecca.
So,
Hi,
yeah.
Becky.
Hey, Bex. Oh, yeah,
Wave if you hear us.
Yeah, she's setting up. There she is.
Yeah, she
adjust,
can't hear us.
adjust. She's adjusting. I saw people.
Oh, she's
waving.
waving.
There
Now
you
she's
are.
waving. She
All right,
can-
so
Nice.
Wednesday it's Marijuana Man and from Under the Influence with Al the Alchemist. What babble and rabble was he yammering about when he came in here? I don't know. He's
Al?
all, yeah.
What was he talking
No,
about?
Marijuana Man.
Oh.
He came in, he walked up here, handed us a joint, and said something and babbled. I don't know. We said, and then I always say
remember
the
that
same thing.
far
I go,
back.
so he's here having a show, and he goes, what, huh?
Oh yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Of course, there's something going on Wednesday. There's always a Wednesday show from Under the Influence with Marijuana Man and Al the Alchemist.
Your show on Friday, Cannabis
right.
Culture News, CCN News, right
Yeah.
here.
And of
second
course,
floor, new second floor, humongous Pot TV studio.
Yeah, we do it from this very spot. Now, of course, there's also
Jodie
the
Emery.
Myrnawana show on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Myrna,
Myrnawana show.
Myrnawana.
And that's in the afternoon from 4:20 to 4:20, Eastern to Pacific, Pacific to Eastern, whatever it is. Eastern to
Yes,
Pacific.
you're welcome, Fark. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, guys. Everybody, we appreciate you tuning in the middle of your Monday and getting high with us. Hope you're all well baked now.
There's more shows too. There's Myrna's got another show on Thursday that he does, a grow show. He hasn't done it recently, but
Yeah.
you can find a whole bunch of Matt Myrna grow videos on Pot TV from his YouTube channel. He's very prolific and records a lot of videos, and
Well, he's got a lot of stuff. That guy works hard. He puts
does.
lots and lots of stuff up. I don't know how he does it.
yeah, he's a good guy.
I'm gonna find out because I'll be staying at his place for a bit
Oh, nice,
when I'm in TO.
nice. When are you going to Toronto?
You were upstairs getting Duchess. I'm in Toronto for I'm doing my show on the 15th of October, Monday, October 15th. It's Opus live with Murnaugh from Vapor Central. And
Nice.
we're up to some shenanigans there that I'm sure we'll probably try to jump in on Pot TV, so stay tuned. I'll be once again roaming around the various cannabis scenes in Toronto and giving you details and updates as they happen. Depends on what we can get into. We'll see.
Cool.
You know how Vapor Central is. There's always something going on there. They also, on Vapor Central Sunday nights, they have, what is it, open mic with Mike Rita?
Yeah,
Or
that's
something-
right.
Or
Yeah,
something
they
to
have.
that effect.
Yeah, and there's
Comedy
several-
on Sunday nights. Did you see The Simpsons and stuff last night?
I did.
Did you watch Family Guy?
No.
Oh man, I got to tell you off
I watched
air.
The
Remind me off air. This one line. I'll tell you off air. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, I do like Family Guy, but I didn't watch it last night.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
it
like
was
The
good.
Simpsons a lot, and I watched it.
They're all season
It was
premieres.
okay.
Yeah, The Simpsons was all right.
I was
They
a
were all
little
season
distracted when I
premieres.
was watching it, but
Likewise, I was multitasking.
yeah. So there's a whole bunch of shows. If you know want the full list, I don't know. But geez, we gotta update the calendar and put that back up on the front page of Pot.tv. That's gonna happen soon.
Yeah.
But until then, coming up next, the Vancouver Seed Bank live from Vancouver with Rebecca Ambrose, and she's in a green room right now.
Yeah, yes, I know where she's sitting at her desk in her
I'm
office.
good sure she'll probably smoke some green in her green room.
So, hey,
Looks
until
green.
then, cultivate your freedom. Stay tuned to Pot TV and watch for updates on the next show, which I think's next week, probably Thanksgiving. We might come in and do, and we'll see. All right, until then, yo, like peace. cultivate your freedom and overgrow the government.